Well, sorry about that. You must have caught me listening to royalty-free music while thinking about the constant turning and constantly evolving world of public forum debate. All right, so enough with the charisma. Let's get into this. So, so far, I've gone over all of the basics of debate. So, what public forum is, speaker orders. I'll probably get this off the window. Sorry about that. I've gone over speaker orders. I've gone over partial responsibilities for both speakers, as well as just the overall structure of a debate. So let's actually get into the meat here, and let's actually create a case. Alright, so when creating a case, and this is going to be a several part video, so hopefully this one isn't too long, but every time I've said that I've gotten into the 15-minute mark, so yeah. Alright, so when creating a case, the most important part is not the actual meat of the case, it's the resolution, it's what you're arguing. Okay, so in this example, I have Batman is the most iconic superhero. So this tells you what we're going to be debating. Okay, Batman being the most iconic superhero. Now, this isn't actually like you can't really take this for face value. You can't just look at a resolution and then just start making a case. You have to understand what the resolution is saying. And so, while, yeah, of course, we're talking about Batman being the most iconic superhero, that's not really how the debate's going to work out, because we have to establish what we are actually arguing. So, of course, if you are arguing pro, you are saying that Batman is 100% without a doubt, okay, the most iconic superhero. Okay, so this is what you are proving. Okay, and you have to prove this in order to win the round. Khan, on the other hand, in this specific example, has it much easier because you don't have to prove that Batman is not the most iconic superhero. Okay, you have to prove that any other superhero is more iconic than Batman. Oops, than Batman. Okay, so it's not like I'm just I have to focus on Batman alone. I can argue on Khan that Green Lantern is better than Batman. I can argue that Iron Man, Iron Man. You could do Captain America. You could do, you could even do Spawn if you want to. Okay, so like it's about understanding what different resolutions are asking. Now, this is only what the resolution is actually, what you're actually going to be debating. There's still more parts of the resolution, such as definitions. Okay, so obviously I don't have to define what a definition is, but it is important to establish some kind of middle ground within a debate round, so you are using you're using the terminology with the same context. And so essentially, if you don't define your terms, what's going to happen is you can you're like, let's say your opponents run definitions and you don't. They define superhero as anybody. Okay, so they describe superhero as a human. All right, so they could say superhero is any human that saves people. All right, so now what they could do is your opponents can now argue that policemen are more iconic superheroes than Batman. You could argue that they could argue that the president of the United States or the United Nations is a superhero. And then what's happening is you can't really debunk that because you don't have a conflicting definition. So it's important to establish that kind of context so that your opponents can't just run with anything they want to. So so for example, in this resolution, what you're going to be defining is obviously iconic and superhero. Okay. You will define Batman as well in most of these. So I guess we'll just define Batman. Oh, what did I do? Oh, so and then it's some really important words to look out for in a lot of resolutions is, should, are, and there's one more I'm trying to think of. I think it's has. So these are the big words, okay, in debate rounds. All right, these kind of tell you how you should focus on arguing. Because if you're saying, let's say, is the most, so the introduction, these two letters mean that Batman is 100% without a doubt. If it says Batman should be the most iconic superhero, then what's happening is we're not talking about 100% without a doubt. We're talking about it's morally correct. It should be done. So you're getting more into the cost benefit side of things. That Batman is, you know, Batman will be more beneficial as a icon, as the most iconic superhero than any other superhero. It still means that Khan has more to work with in terms of arguments, but it also means that Pro isn't as locked in. So you need to be aware of this really small wording. Okay, so is and should are probably the two biggest. Are and has are a lot more situational. I haven't really gotten either of them very much, and I'm not really going to offer an example, simply because it does not seem. I'm going to be honest, I can't really think of one. Let's look at looking at the NSDA topic. This current NSDA topic for this is May of 2021. So public forum debate. So the benefits of the International Monetary. Wait, that's April. May. Oh well. All right. So just looking at this. Unbalanced, the benefits of creating the United States Space Force outweigh the harms. Okay, so this one you are going to be doing more of the should argument, and this one's the exact same, outweigh the harms. Um, when doing the outweigh the harms arguments, it's essentially just should. So outweigh harms. Is just a, it's a definite yes, 100%. I have to prove this. Should is it's it does more good than it does harm. So that is, let's see how much time I have spent. About 7 minutes. That's good. That's about all there really is to resolutions and breaking them down. You need to look at keywords, then you need to find a reputable, oftentimes you need to find a reputable and legitimate definition for any of these terms. Keep in mind that you are technically allowed to run some completely off-the-wall whack job definition, like for the example of superhero, like if you define superheroes, any human that helps someone. Just keep in mind that your opponent can also run with this, and keep in mind that your opponent can run a more legitimate and official definition that will undermine the legitimacy of your definition. So it's best to define terms legitimately, but you can also twist the definition within your own I guess, favor is the best way to put it. I'm going to pause the video real quick and pull up a different example. Alright, so looking at this lovely case that you're probably sick of seeing, but I really don't care, we'll look at the definitions. So I'm defining the same thing, so implement and single-payer healthcare on the pro as I am for the con, implement single-payer healthcare. But guess what? The definition for single-payer healthcare is going to be different, I believe. Government socialized healthcare that coverage that includes the abolition of private insurance and increased government control on pharmaceutical providers. Huh. Well, it looks like I made a tad bit of a goof.